What's up guys, I'm Chris Doughty aka Doughtinator. Welcome back to the channel. We've got some racing at Laguna Seca right now. Absolutely treacherous track, one of the most dangerous tracks in GT Sport, and we are going to go as reserve driver for this one. Absolutely stacked lobby. As you can see, we've got basic Ollie, almost all of every other driver is A+, maybe a couple of A's thrown in there for good measure. And great to see viewers in this lobby as well. So Lawrence321, Blue Racer, we've seen you commenting these videos before, so welcome to this if you are joining in. And we're going to get underway now. I think we're going to clear turn one before we go under green flag conditions, so that's going to be good for ourselves. This race, medium and hard tyres are required. We're going to start on the hards. It's not a strategy I usually prefer to go with, but we're going to give it a go now, getting some heat into the tyres before we start. I have a video on my channel about tyre temperatures, very interesting watch if you are interested in that. So we're going to try and brake conservatively into turn one, following Blue Racer and Lawrence321 in 4th and 5th respectively, and through this corner to the right there. It's a difficult corner, even on lap one. The tyres just don't feel up to temperature, as we're just flirting with danger on the outside of the track there. As you may know, we're in the Race Asylym Porsche now, expert livery by JP. This is the official Race Asylym Pro Team livery. Keep an eye out for those on the track if you see them. Often driven by fast drivers, me pretty medium today, but as we get on the brakes for the first time into the corkscrew, braking conservatively. It's looking like a bit of a battle ahead. There's a bit of a swaz there from Blue Racer, but he gets good drive out of the corner, even that considered. So we're going to be coming to the end of lap one very soon. Looking on the top right hand side, the beetle of the German driver is closing in quite massively. So Blue Racer is going to go for a move onto Lawrence, and we're going to get bumped on the inside. So the German racer sends it down the inside to ourselves, and we're going to go side by side down the main straight now, across the stripe to complete the first lap. Got Max Power is threatening in the background. Another Porsche driver, looks like he's gone to the inside, 3 wide into turn one. German driver just about comes out the corner ahead. We lose out massively as Max Power capitalizes on our bad corner exit out of the final corner, and we're going to follow Got Max Power now into this corner, which we need to be careful of the sausages. The sausages at Laguna Seca are absolutely fatal. Avoid them at all costs, as we're going to go through this first of the left-handers now before the second left-hander after the bridge is another critical corner. One wrong move and onto the gravel on the outside, into the sand, and you are done. As we get on there safely for the second time, we're going to get on the brakes into the corkscrew now. Tyres should be fully up to temperature now. Trying to figure out who's on the hard tyres and who's started with the mediums. From what I can see, all the drivers around me are on the hard tyres. No one seems to have any significant grip advantage. We're really a bit wide. We've saved the car there. We're missing apexes now, so we're slightly losing out to the cars ahead. As Got Max Power just backs it in on the handbrake and manages to get the car exited down the main straight to complete the second lap. A fantastic looking livery on this Race Asylym Porsche. As we're going to go onto the brakes in turn one, it looks like the German driver is going to put a move on Lawrence at the end of the straight. Very robust move there, it seems. So that German driver he's found some pace. Maybe he is on the medium tyres, and he's looking to get through the field as fast as he can. So we're going to go onto the Cooper Bridge, making the right-hander, and Lawrence321 is out wide. He's in the sand. That's going to cause him significant lack of grip for the next couple of corners with dirty tyres. So we're going to follow him through now. Maybe we can capitalise on this situation here. Is Lawrence going to be able to get through this dangerous left-hander with dirt on the tyres? And he just about keeps it in. We've got a bit of an overspeed as we think to go for a move at the corkscrew, and then we think better of that. So we're just going to fall in line, get on the brakes a bit earlier, but we're now under threat from the Greek driver behind. A bit of swaz on the corner exit from ourselves, so we've kind of lost out a little bit. Lawrence has pulled a bit of a gap, but we're closing in massively. So huge fights going on now, and we're gonna, you know what, we don't want to be in those fights. We're gonna go for an early pit stop, super early, I'm not sure how the tyres are going to be by the end of the race. This is going to be a very risky move. So we're going to switch to the mediums. Fast forwarding the pit stops is about 26 or longer second pit loss. And we're just going to get out the pits just ahead of the Spanish driver, which is significant. We've got clear air now. This next lap and maybe one more is going to make or break the race. So we're now on the medium tyres, and we need to be hitting our apexes absolutely perfectly without taking too much life out of the tyres. So we're a little bit wide there. We don't quite maximise what we can do for that corner there. It's difficult because we've come out the pits on a different tyre. We want to be making the most of it. We don't want to be pushing the tyres too hard, and also we want to stay within the safe limits of driving this difficult Laguna Seca track. How have you found Laguna Seca so far this week? Let me know in the comments below. If you are interested in getting faster in GT Sport, then we have the Race Asylum Discord. There'll be a link to that in the description below. As drivers are starting to pit now, so look on the leaderboard feed, a lot of drivers pitting from the hard tyres very early, and we're going to see how that's going to play out. So we have put in a solid outlap on these medium tyres, but how are we going to play out with this one? The cars are going to start to exit the pit lane now. So we see that is that got max power on the inside in that green Porsche. Are we going to clear him after that pit stop? It's looking we're not going to quite clear got max power. It looks like we have cleared Lawrence maybe. I can't see him in the we've cleared Lawrence by quite a long way, actually 3 seconds. Maybe he's had an error at some point in that lap. But now we are going to get onto the back of Got Max Power. Absolutely fantastic racer who's got Max Power. Very consistent, always up near the sharp end of these daily races, certainly on the Monday. But it has to be said, I've not seen as much pace from Got Max Power as I would normally see on the Mondays. Normally I see him fighting for top fives and wins. So yeah, maybe it's a difficult track for Got Max Power. But we're going to try and follow him through. We know he's got pace as we go purple in this lap. So this is looking like a good lap for us. A little bit wide again there, but we just don't really suffer too much from that. And you can see Got Max Power is using all of the track width available. More drivers in the pits. So have we done enough on our second lap on these medium tyres to clear a few more drivers? So we're running in 10th position right now as we go fastest purple for reserve driver in this top split lobby. And are we going to clear any more drivers as these pit stops start to play out? So we are in 13th position as the pit stops are kind of filtering through. And it looks like Blue Racers managed to stay ahead of us, and we're wide there. We're just gathering a bit of dirt, but we seem to survive, just about missing the apex there on that second corner. Again, this is such a difficult track. You need to be 100% on your game for the full race distance, and certainly with in this race C, with the varying fuel loads and tyre wear and tyre change, you have to be on the ball with regard to how much grip your car's going to have. So basic ollie now, looking in the leaderboard, basic ollie to the pits from the lead of the race. How's that one going to play out? Because we have had two very significantly good lap times on these medium tyres. We're going to thread it through the corkscrew chicane, and cars ahead are just starting to come back to us now. So we're running in 13th position, coming to the end of lap number 6. And other drivers are even in the pits now, so we're going to make some significant gains as these pit stops start to happen. So we're going to cross the stripe to start lap number 7 as we look at these fantastic TV camera replays. If you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. You could be in the first 1,000 subscriber club. We are rapidly approaching 1,000 subscribers, which is a significant number. I really appreciate every subscriber so far, and all of you guys watching. Absolutely really appreciate all of your feedback, comments. Everything you do is always really appreciated. So we're now running in 9th position. It looks like the German driver just exited the pits then, so the German driver we had from early on in the race will be starting to close us down. He seems to have a significant amount of pace in that Beetle. He's probably not used the dominant car for qualifying. He's just set a qualifying time in that Beetle. So his qualifying time is probably a little bit slower than he can probably achieve is we're going to close quite close into the back of Max Power, down through the fantastic corkscrew. As the car goes light over the top of that corkscrew, you've got to be really careful on throttle application. Wait for it to get in the dip before you get hard on the throttle, so the car loads up and gives you all the grip. As we're using every single inch of the track, closing right into the back of Max Power down the main straight now. Looking ahead, Basic Ollie and Blue Racer are just ahead there, and we're going to go across the line. Pretty solid lap time still. Tyres aren't really dropping away yet. Back on board now, closing right into the back of Max Power, just offsetting our braking slightly, and we're going to start to threaten Max Power. So we're up to 6th with all the pit stops mostly taken place, and we're going to try and progress forwards. Max Power is looking a little wild on some of his corners there, so we think we've got a little bit of pace over Max Power. The German driver behind is going to be a threat, so we're going to hopefully try and not spend too much time battling with Max Power. Skipping forwards one lap now, we are closing into the back of Max Power. Burrs ahead is coming back to us, and we could be looking at a 4th place here potentially, through the difficult left-hander, and Max Power gets out of shape and he's spinning. I can't avoid him. I've just managed to... I'm sorry, Max Power, I tried to avoid you, mate. But we seem to have managed to help him spin round. Looking in the background, he seems to have almost got away with it. He hasn't lost too much time. He's still maintained that 7th position, but there was nowhere for me to go. But that has cost me a position. The German driver has managed to put a move on us, and now we need to look towards trying to close back into Burrs. The German driver has put a massive move on Burrs into the last corner. Burrs is not going to like that, so he's going to fight back, I think, into turn 1. Looking ahead, they're side by side. How's this one going to play out? Hopefully we can get a bit of a benefit from this one. Burrs to the inside. The German driver has been blocked there, so he's unable to make that pass happen, and this is playing into our hands now. We're a little bit wide, getting a bit of sand on our tyres, but I think we're okay. German driver is looking to the inside on this corner. It's a difficult corner. They're going to go side by side. Burrs has come off a lot worse. They're going to avoid Burrs coming back on the track, and we've managed to get past Burrs. So we're up into 5th position. The German driver versus Burrs ahead, going door to door, and I think Burrs coming off worse in that incident there. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Always interested to hear people's feedback, comments. It's always good to see. Get involved with the community, and let's talk about what happens in these races. Skipping forwards to the final lap into the corkscrew for the final time, we managed to hold on to our 5th position, managing our tyres, so the gap to the leaders and the cars ahead is expanded quite a bit, but we managed to get 10 laps out of these medium tyres, which is quite a significant amount, and huge pivotal point for the race was to get those 1 or 2 extra laps early on those medium tyres to get the undercut on many of the cars around us. If you have enjoyed this video, hit that like button, consider subscribing. We are very quickly closing in on that incredible 1,000 subscribers number. Unbelievable stuff. So also, if you want to get faster in GT Sport, we have the Race Asylum Discord. It's where we talk about everything GT Sport and how to improve. We have coaching sessions, league events. There'll be a link to the Race Asylum Discord in the comments below. That is going to conclude today's video, and we'll catch you in the next one.